on, go ahead and just mute yourselves, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody, and a happy Monday morning to all of our Global Luxury members that are joining us from Colorado and throughout our mountain affiliate offices. We're so excited to see you this Monday morning. And our guest today, of course, as you all know, if you got the meeting invitation, you know, really needs no introduction with us in our Colorado family, if you will. Christophe Choo has been in the industry for over 32 years. He is a luxury leader out in the Beverly Hills real estate market. He is a fan favorite of ours. We love hearing from him. He is a homegrown, and he's going to talk a little bit about that. We are just so excited to let him get started in connecting with us today. So Christophe, take it away and tell us a little bit. I really want to kick it off. You know, you said something the other day when we were chatting, just about how perceptions can be misleading and about your beginning into the real estate industry. And I loved the story, loved chatting with you about it. So talk to us a little bit about how you've gotten to where you are.
Absolutely. Anyone who's on the call, please mute yourself because I can hear a lot of background noise and it's hard to think and talk when there's background. So please just mute yourself. Their car. So I'll try to talk above the car sound. Or Natalie, can you mute everyone? Yeah. Someone's
yes,
like,
we're gonna get everyone muted right now.
Perfect. Anyway, so Natalie and I were talking about perceptions, and in life, it's all about perception. People often see me and think, oh, that's the bougie Christophe Beverly Hills broker. If you know me personally or you see me, you know, in 2 seconds, oh, that blingy Beverly Hills guy with all the diamonds and all the fancy luxury lifestyle. Well, I agree that may be your perception, but I was talking to Natalie that I do try to share at conferences that that's not where I came from. I came from nothing. I literally started working when I was 12 years old. For some reason, when I was very, very young, I had a dream and a vision. And one of my mom was a hairdresser, and I would go to her beauty shop every single Saturday at 6 a.m. with her. She worked 6 days a week, and I would help her with the customers. I'd serve donuts, make coffee, sweep the floors, once in a while wash hair. I mean, just took care of people. And I learned the value of working. And customers would give me tips. And when I was 12 years old, my mom had a customer that wanted her apartment cleaned. So my mom suggested, because my mom was working, so on Saturdays, my sister and I had to clean the house. That was our job. So we had to clean, and my mom was fastidious about cleaning, so we had to clean, you know, from top to bottom. So I cleaned my mom's customer's apartment. And back in the 1970s, I would go there for 3-4 hours on a Saturday, you know, after her hair appointment, and I would clean her apartment with her shag rugs and her 3 Persian cats. And I was allergic, and I couldn't breathe, and I was sneezing and crazy, but I made $60, you know, in 3-4 hours cleaning someone's apartment. So I worked at Dupar's restaurant as a cashier. I worked at the Hollywood Bowl as a ticket taker. I worked Valley Parking. I worked many, many different jobs. So I just want people to know I was not born with money. I was not born in a fancy lifestyle. I created everything by design, and I just came from nothing, and I always worked hard. I believe in work ethic. So the basis of my career was hard work all the time and doing what's right, and that's kind of how it started, Natalie. Natalie, you still there?
I am here. Yes. Christophe, I love your story. And I know we talked a little bit about the luxury market, and we saw such a surge in 2019. I believe almost a 12% increase in $1 million home sales, which was tremendous for the year. And it's amazing how so much in 2020 has shifted us, right? Has changed the way that we view luxury, and it's changed our fundamental perceptions, if you will, of really what's necessary. Yes. And so I know that we had such a great conversation about that and how you're seeing a shift. So talk to us about how you're mitigating some of those headwinds, if you will, and how you're modifying your approach when and where you feel it's best served for our current market and our current time in the world.
Well, that's a really, really great question, Natalie. And the truth of the matter is, I've been doing this for 32 years. I've been through 9 or 10 major disasters and catastrophes in LA. Earthquakes, multiple earthquakes, riots, floods, 9/11, the crash of the 2000s, the crash of 2008. I've been through many disasters. Now, this I would say, granted, is probably the worst situation I've ever experienced in terms of literally the whole world is shut down. And even back, I talked about it this morning and last Friday that luxury has changed. I mean, I am no longer really using the word luxury. I think that word luxury, it's still a word, but luxury has a different value to me. To me, right now, luxury is no longer the most expensive house and all the diamonds and all the parties. That's not luxury anymore. What's luxury is the highest quality, meaning buying the highest quality home you can afford. Luxury to me is getting a great value. People want value today more than anything. I think people want value. Look, times are tough, businesses are closed, people have lost their jobs. How can we make our money expand and have value? What are the best areas? I mean, location, location, location has always been the number one thing in real estate. But I think now, even more so than ever, the best areas are the most important. Because now, I don't know about you, when this stuff started changing, I'm like, are we safe in our neighborhood? Are we protected? Are we comfortable? So even we have discussed moving to Colorado or buying a house in Utah or wherever to have a little kind of safe haven. So what are the best areas? And then lastly, which is probably top of the list, is an unbeatable experience. What is the experience of that home? It's no longer, there were times over the years, 32 years in the business, where people would buy 10, 20, 30, $40 million luxury homes to show off to their friends. And look, and I know, look, in Colorado, maybe they're buying a $1.2 million luxury home to show off to their friends. But it's no longer about the luxury. It's no longer about showing off. It's now about, especially people have been quarantined in their home for 2 months, 3 months, and they're going crazy with the kids, going crazy with their spouse, crazy just being at home all the time. So do you have a home you really love? Do you? I don't know. Ask your clients that question. Do you have a home you want to downsize to something smaller? Because maybe you've got this 6,000 square foot home, the kids are gone, and you need to be just yourselves and be in a safe, comfortable place. Or do you want to expand in this market? This is a great market to expand if you want to expand. I mean, you can sell your 3,000 square foot home and buy a 4,000, 5,000 square foot home in the right neighborhood for the cheapest loan rates in the history of our time. And right now with the marketplace, there are good buying opportunities. So always look for the opportunities and always look for what makes sense to you and your heart. But luxury has changed dramatically. I think all the stuff about the bags and the shoes, and you guys probably who watch me and follow me, I've not posted any shoes or jewelry or any of the, obviously no parties for months. But luxury is a different thing nowadays. Luxury is family, it's home, it's loved ones, it's time in the garden. Even last night, I was talking to Natalie this morning, we were in the garden at 7 o'clock and, just enjoying life. And we heard like 7, 8 different kind of birds. We saw the hawk on the tree and we're talking about the nature. So luxury is changed. Luxury is, the word is still good, but that word equates to different things in today's world.
It's interesting to talk with you and to hear your perspective on this, because you're right. We all love your videos. We enjoy your videos. We love your posts. We look for them and they're so fabulous, and it's exciting, and it's a lifestyle, and it's beautiful, and who doesn't want to see that? But it's amazing how, regardless of what potential price point you're in, how things have shifted so much, because home has evolved and changed into so many things. It's now where we're educating our children, and it's now where we're, maybe taking an online fitness class, and it's now where we're coming together on a Friday or a Saturday for a movie night in the house. And so it's really evolved, and I love how you've shifted, and it's not so much that focus on luxury, although luxury is wonderful, but more that high quality, right? Where am I going to have that best quality of life, right? Because a situation like this just throws you into a tailspin and puts so much into perspective. It makes so many things important that you may have not have been thinking about before.
It's so true. Let me get something real quick I want to share with the audience.
Yes, absolutely.
that I was going to pull out this morning, but I have it now. So having a schedule and a routine every day is still very important. And I have my affirmations every single day, Monday through every day of the week. So I have this wonderful chart. I don't know if you can see it. Rules for being amazing. And I read this to myself every day. The rules for being amazing. Risk more than is required. Learn more than is normal. Be strong. Show courage. Breathe. Excel. Love. Lead. Speak your truth. Live your values. Laugh. Cry. I cry. Innovate. Simplify. Adore mastery. Release mediocrity. Aim for genius. Stay humble. Be kinder than expected. Deliver more than is needed. Exude passion. Shatter your limits. Transcend your fears. That's a really big one right now because we all have fears. Exude passion. Oh, sorry, I said that. Inspire others by your bigness. Act now. Don't stop. Change and change the world. So we have to always have visions and goals to move us forward, and we have to constantly be changing. Since I started this 32 years ago, I've always said I have to be a chameleon. I'm in Beverly Hills, so like every day I kind of know my appointments for the day. So like today I could be meeting a CEO of a major, $50 billion company. Tomorrow I could be meeting a celebrity that's a very famous singer or actress or TV star, and I have to, dress accordingly. I could be meeting next day an artist, a very famous artist. I could be meeting a regular family that's moving from their $1.2 million home to their $5 million home, and they're a dentist, they're a doctor, whatever. And so I have to be a chameleon. I've always been a chameleon, always being myself, true to who I am, but always be adaptive to the environment and to who you're meeting. So I have to always dress according to who I'm meeting that day. So I think it's very important to always be changeable, to pivot yourself in the marketplace. Look, I've been through many different changes, so you have to adapt sometimes every day. Change, adapt, but always being yourself, but always adapt and change to the new marketplace, and always be thinking about what's going on. What are my followers, my clients, what are they experiencing? What are they feeling? How can I help them today?
Yeah, I think never has there been more of an importance on being able to be agile, right, and be
Oh,
flexible. It's so important. And to that point, so many of us follow you on social media, and we love it. And it's like I said, it's something we look forward to, and it's encouraging and inspiring. Some of the quotes that you post, and I love when you post about flowers and about the birds and about the squirrels, and it's really really beautiful, and it's heartwarming. But since we are in this changing place right now, how are you kind of transforming yourself on social media, and what are you really leveraging now to reach out to people and connect with your sphere, and what are you finding success with? What are you seeing people are responding to most?
that's a really good question. Look, I've been doing social media now for 14, 15 years. I did not want to do that, but I started, and I'm always testing and trying constantly. So what I realize now more than ever, look, whenever I post photos or videos of properties, people don't really care so much. You know what I mean? Look, I have to post one or two photos of properties and videos a day. It's my business.
Can you see them? I see them.
But we have to post. I always post what's in my heart and what's in my mind. So every morning, so typically like nowadays, I always post between 4 to 10 things a day. Look, in regular times, I post 10 things a day because I'm at parties, I'm at lunches, but nowadays it's like 4 to 6. But first thing in the morning when I wake up, I take my walk or I go in the garden, I take a picture of a flower or one of the statues in my garden or the birds or something. I share what's meaningful to me, and love me or hate me, like me or don't like me, that's okay. If you're going to follow me and you like me, fine. If not, you can unfollow me. But I share what's in my heart. Then I share a good quote that's meaningful to me. Like this morning, I shared a photo of a flower in the rain because it was raining. I shared a wonderful quote. I haven't posted a property listing yet, but I post, quotes that are important to me, flowers, things that are special to me, that mean something to me. I just share what's in my heart, and people like it. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, should I share this? Should I share it? I don't feel like it's right, but I think it's good. I post it, and people love it. So
So a lot of what we've talked about, you and I, we've had so many lovely conversations in the last week or so leading up to this. Are you finding that in your sphere, your buyers and sellers, that their mindsets have shifted too? Do you find that they're pretty aligned with the way that you're viewing things, that this is a, kind of a holistic kind of mindset now? Do you feel they're taking some time to catch up? Do you feel that we're all on the same page and that maybe their motivating factors have changed a little bit? Are you seeing a lot of that from them? I know we're feeling it, but I'm more, what are you seeing?
Yes, I'm seeing that as well. And what's really interesting is, every couple of days I try to do videos about, aside from all the pretty posts and the photos and the flowers and all that stuff, I try to do posts about educating my clients of what's going on in the marketplace. Because people read the headlines. That you wake up in the morning, get all these posts or pop-ups on your phone about this is crashing. Everything's crashing, everything's down, and then people believe that stuff. So I don't want to share. First, I share never anything negative, but there's a lot of people that are seeing things that are like, oh my God, and they're like stressed out. It's strange how people are getting caught up in all the negativity out there, but I don't want to share that. So I only want to share the positivity and what I think is going to help people move forward in their day. So again, the question, Natalie, was,
How do you feel they're best responding to you?
oh, so
Meaning,
right now, so all the videos I've done about the market data, like the market's not crashing and the market is improving and the stock market's going to be this, and these are long videos we've taken a lot of time to create. People, my viewers, don't seem to care about that. They seem to care about the silly, inconsequential things of life. Like when I do my hair craziness, they love that. Or pictures of my dogs, or the flowers, or the quotes. Um,
the
that's
real life, the
that's
real
what people
life, right?
respond to, and it's not always what I want to share, but like I said, I want to share and educate my clients about what's really going on in the real estate market and prices and the economy. But so far, people don't seem to care about that in my world. Maybe in other worlds it's different, but in my world, I'm not getting a lot of interaction. Like I did a video, did several videos last week. One was about our home prices appreciating or depreciating. Not a lot of views on that. Another
Mm-hmm.
one I did was about how to sell or buy in today's market safely and securely.
Right.
Very, very few views on that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess people just don't care about that. I don't
Right.
know. So I'm always testing and trying, but I'll put a photo or a video of something like crazy, weird stuff seems to be really popular right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and it's amazing because and again, we've been talking and I've been talking to all of our agents and I'm sure you've been making all kinds of connections. That's what there's time to do, right? All of a sudden we have all this time to connect with people, which is wonderful, but they're seeing us in our most natural element, right? We're home and maybe our hair isn't perfect and maybe there's kids in the background or a dog barking and that's
yes.
just where we are right now.
And that's fine with
So,
me. Being natural and real is always a really good thing.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Really good
So
thing.
I know you have so many good friends in Colorado, and like I said, you're a huge fan favorite. So I want to give an opportunity for Courtney to potentially field some questions that we may be getting in the comments section.
I love
But
questions.
I wanted to ask you a kind of a fun question: is
Okay.
what are you and Gabrielle doing right now to stay healthy and stay just mentally kind of sound and grounded and happy and all of that during this challenging
Really
time?
good question. So we're not going anywhere, obviously. We go to our acupuncture treatments a couple of times a week. Um, we're gonna have our 27th wedding anniversary on Wednesday, which is in 2 days. But there's nowhere to go. I mean, in the old days, we'd pick up on the plane, go to the south of France, or we go to Italy, or we go to Maui, or go somewhere, Mexico. We can't go anywhere. I said to her last night, I said, why don't we go to Malibu on Wednesday for the night, right? But I don't know. I mean, the restaurant's closed, the hotel's open, but the restaurant's closed. I don't want box lunches. So she says, no, let's have our anniversary at our home with our kids. And look, and I'll be honest with you, we've had a very luxury lifestyle our whole life, which we're very blessed. Um, we go to these wonderful places all around the world and travel. We get back home, and even though we've been in the best hotels around the world, the best suites, there's no place like home. So I think our anniversary on Wednesday will be at home because we can go to a fancy hotel suite, but we have a beautiful home.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean,
And it'll probably be a beautiful anniversary, right at home. So many of us are redefining that home.
Yeah.
We're having birthdays and think about it. I mean, Christophe, graduations are happening right now. I mean, people are really having to reinvent their homes and get creative for lots of celebrations as the world keeps moving, even though we're in this challenging and extraordinary time.
And the truth is, home is where the heart is. And here's a little short story. So we bought our house here in the West Side 21 years ago. We bought the house. It was a fixer. I had so much joy when we walked in the. We've been looking for 3 years for a house. We walked in the door. I went to the right. She went to the left. We came back in the middle. We went to the other side. Within a minute and a half, we both went to the middle. I went outside. We said, "This is the house." After
Aww.
3 years. 3 offers in other houses. This was the house. I walked in the backyard, huge backyard, but it was like all this old shrubbery and trees. I'm like, oh, my landscaping designer, like, oh, I got to gut this. So he bought that house. So we spent, 5, 6 years developing the garden and the different areas, the Japanese garden and this and this and that, and all the different elements, which was very hard, took a lot of time. It took, 10 years. And then the last 10, 12 years, I'm working so hard all the time. I never enjoy the garden. And I would come home like the way pre-COVID. I'm like, I would go home and I'm like, I've been working there were times where I, work all day long, 7 days a week, get back at 6 or 7, get changed, go to a party, come back home at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, cycle over and over again. I didn't even go in my garden for like 2, 3 weeks at a time.
Right.
Now I'm at home every day, so I can really enjoy the garden. And I'm like, and I keep thinking about how much time I took in my life to be able to afford to buy that home, to then design that home and then redo it. And then for 10 years, I didn't even enjoy it because I was so caught up in making and buying the bling and going to the parties. Now that that's all dead, I'm going back to enjoying what I spent so much time creating. Like Brandon and his wife, they have a beautiful garden, a beautiful pool. I don't know what the story is of how that all happened, but having that is such an amazing blessing. So no matter what, if I lived in a lava hole 1-bedroom apartment, I still appreciate that. And I love that and be thankful for that. So every morning in my affirmations, I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for a warm bed, a roof over my head. I have cold water. I have fresh food to eat. Even go to the market and wait 20 minutes in line in Beverly Hills to wait in line with a mask to go in and buy groceries, which is fine. That's the way the world is. I'm still grateful for everything I have. And I think that's the most important thing.
Well, as we get into our final few minutes with you, because I want to be respectful of your time today, what if you had to give us all a great piece of advice in terms of staying connected and staying in touch with our sphere, especially our those affluent buyers and sellers? What are you thinking would be next best steps or best practices?
So first of all, love yourself. Be kind to yourself, because I've always had a hard time doing that. So we can be kind to our friends, our family, but sometimes, at least for me, it's hard to be kind to myself. So that's really important. And my friends in the last couple of weeks have talked about being kind to yourself. Number 2, just reach out to people you love. When those, I don't know about you, but I have voices in my head. So when the voices in my head, look, you're supposed to call your sphere of influence and all people every day, right? 5 or 10 a day.
Yes.
I don't just go through the database. From when I wake up in the morning till afternoon, little voices pop up in my head. Oh, call this, call that one, call this one.
Yes.
I write it down and I call them.
Yes.
The voice tells me to call them. There's something there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Follow your heart and your instinct, and sometimes quiet your mind so you can be open to the energy of what's out there and what's important. But just give love and kindness. People, whether your friends are younger, older, or whatever's going on in their life, if someone needs help, help them.
Yeah.
Whether it's a call, a word, even broker friends. There's some broker friends that have no relationships. They're by themselves, stuck in their apartments in New York. I call them because I knew in my mind, in my heart, I'm like, oh my God, they've been home for 2, 3 weeks. They have no partner. I mean, I'm home, all the time, but at least I have a wife and my dogs. I mean, I cannot imagine the people that are depressed and on their own by themselves, or a woman whose kids live abroad or out of the city and they're by themselves. I mean, I can't even imagine the despair and fear and worry they have. So just give support to those around you that feels hard.
It's very, very true. Thank you for that. That's important. It's oftentimes, you make that connection and you reach out to call someone that's on your mind, and the response is undoubtedly, I was just thinking of you, and it is so good to hear your voice, and it's so great to have that affirmation of, yes, I needed to reach out and make that contact. So speaking of contacts, I think we have a few people on the line that have some questions for you, and I certainly think we may want to hear from them. Courtney, would you mind giving Christophe a couple of questions that are in the chat box for us?
Cool.
Yeah,
Time-wise, I'm fine. So it's only 10:30, so we're good. My last call on Friday with Coldwell Banker, Texas, it was an hour call, ended up being an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh my God. Well,
So,
we love having you, so we'll see how long this
you have an
is.
agenda. You got to start your new agenda, but whatever questions, I'm here. Ask it. I'm here to answer.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. So one of the questions that we got was, what are you doing now or differently to market properties currently?
So I was a forerunner with video and video marketing and all the internet marketing 14, 15 years ago. So we're not really doing anything different in that realm. I do understand that many, many agents out there, probably 90% of the agents in the world or in the country, have not really done a lot of videos or 3D tours or virtual showings and all that. So I understand that. So we've been doing that for a long, long time. But like in my call to Texas on Friday, I talked about videos. But many people reached out to me and said, I've never done videos. You inspired me. So you've got to start doing videos. You don't need to be perfect. You look the way you look, pre-COVID, after COVID, current COVID, you look the way you look. So just, I don't know if you're allowed to show in Colorado. Are you allowed to show in Colorado now? Are you allowed to show homes? Okay, cool. So Brandon says yes. So, put your little video camera on. Say hello. Do a virtual walking. So by the way, follow me on all the social media platforms. Instagram, YouTube. I have couple Instagram pages, 24 Facebook pages, YouTube. But follow me on the social media and see what I'm doing. But right now, I've done many, many videos since COVID. I go to the house and I'm changing a little bit the verbiage and what I'm talking about, but turn your camera on and walk them through and show them the house. It's called a virtual showing. You don't need to look good. I have a house right now that's $12.5 million. There's no furniture. It has not been touched since 1960 when it was built. But I've done walking live tours in the house on Facebook, on YouTube, on my Instagram. So just to share what you have. Don't be afraid. Be yourself. You don't have to look good. It's okay. I look messy sometimes. It's fine. People, they're not buying me. They're buying the house. So share what you know. And even the last couple of weeks, I share the videos of the restaurants opening. I shared yesterday the car wash. Today I didn't share the chiropractor, but I was so excited. I go to the chiropractor every single week. He opened for the first time today in 10 weeks. So I was so happy to go there this morning, get my chiropractic treatment. So share your local businesses and share reopening your life and reopening back into the work, because there are people in your sphere that don't know that the dry cleaning is open, or don't know that the car wash is open, or don't know that your chiropractor is open, or don't know that the doctor's office or the dentist is open. But share that, because you're not only sharing things that people don't know, because there are a lot of people that are fearful sitting in their house. They're just sitting there watching the news. They don't know. No. But share the happiness. Don't share the negativity. Just share what's exciting to you.
Thank you. So we did have a couple comments about the market. Our market is holding steady. Many buyers coming out of the woodwork who've been on pause. But there was a question how your market is doing, and just kind of some comments on, here versus there.
It's a great question. So I've talked to a number of my friends in Colorado the last couple of days, and your market's on fire, from what I understand. We're at the lowest rates in the history of our country, particularly in the lower price ranges. Things are hot. In our market, to be honest, things are down about 38 to 48% in terms of number of sales. We are at the lowest level of inventory in history. I've had half my sellers take their properties off the market the last couple of weeks, which was a mistake. I told them, but that's their choice. I can't force them. So, look, I've been through so many down markets. It doesn't matter what the market is. You got to create your own market. You're always buyers. There are always sellers. Find those people. There's going to be down sellers. There are down buyers. Don't get caught up in all that drama and all that negativity. Just, okay, you don't want to buy right now. I get that. Here's the information. You try to convince them or explain to them. They don't. Oh, fine. Move on to someone who will. It's challenging, but our market has been very challenged. There have been a number of high-end deals in our market, and I've shared those. But people get upset. They're like, "Oh, people are buying $48 million, $50 million houses." I told Natalie this morning about, "Oh, you need to give money to charity," and I don't have those conversations and fights about people are giving a lot of money to charity, but just look, whatever your market is, people are buying and selling, and I think Colorado overall is very strong. So just think about, just take 20 minutes after this call, just shut everything down, be quiet. If you don't meditate, but just quiet your mind and think about who in my world that I sold a house to in the last 5 or 6 years that has a lot of equity, that maybe would want to buy a bigger house because they've been home with the 5 kids or the 3 kids, or the kids are grown and they want to, maybe this is the time to sell the big house and buy a small condo in town. I don't know. But just take the time to think about who you are and who's around you and who your sphere is, and just see who you can help. I think that's all you have to focus on, who you can help. And if you help others, it will help you.
That's awesome.
Courtney, can we do a couple more questions before
Yep.
we let Christophe go? Beautiful.
I have 2 more hanging out. So someone is asking if you were willing to share your list of affirmations.
My affirmations come from my heart. I shared the list earlier, right? That's one little kind of pre-written list. So my affirmations are, I start with, okay, well, I'll run it through with you like what I would do normally. So I have crystal. Those of you, Brandon knows, I love crystals. So I have crystals all around me in my world. So I have this is a citrine crystal. It's on my desk. Citrine attracts wealth and money. And I have also a very, very special, I have like 12 of these on my desk. Very special citrine crystal on my desk. So I start my affirmations. I hold this in my hand and I'll just go through it with you. I demand my divine conscious and subconscious mind to activate every blood vessel, every atom, every molecule in my body to be a ball of light, love, kindness, happiness, prosperity, and joy to myself and all of those around me. That's my first start. So I want to activate my body and all the molecules and the atoms in my body to be positive. Then I'm like, okay, every morning and each day, I release any fears, worries, negativity, anger, resentment, and stress in my mind and body, from the toes of my body, up my legs, up my arms, up my body, up my head, like steam coming out of a train. I simply release and let go of all the negativity, anger, and resentment out of my mind. I start my affirmations with that. I start about activating my body, releasing all the negativity. Then I go into gratitude. Each and every morning, I'm grateful for my perfect physical and mental health, my wife, my kids, my family, my home, hot and cold water, a roof over my head, a bed to sleep in, hot, fresh food, water to drink, the air I breathe, the sunshine, the blue skies, the birds, the trees, the animals, my clients, my friends, my family, my life experiences. I'm grateful for myself. For many years, I was never grateful for myself. I'm now doing that. I'm grateful for the opportunities in my life, all the experiences. So that's that. And then I focus on today's an amazing day. I expect miracles. I expect wonderful opportunities. I expect amazing sellers with equity and people who want to love me, trust me, respect me, follow my advice, and do business with me will call me, and they want to sell with me and buy with me. So that's kind of the basis of my affirmations. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes, but that's kind of like I start with just kind of, activating my body, then releasing the negativity and focusing on gratitude, and then what do I want for today and the week. So that's my affirmations, basically.
Thank you for sharing that. The last question that we have was the question on, do you pre-record your videos or are you always going live?
I do both. Who's asking, by the way? Doesn't matter. So I would say I pre-record most of my videos. So most of my videos I record on my phone and then I post them afterwards. I do live as well, but I'm always testing live videos on Facebook and Instagram. If you do a live Instagram video, um, I don't get a lot of views at that particular moment. And with a live Instagram video, you cannot save the recording and share it. Facebook Live, yes, you can record it. It's live. You can save it and share it. But I personally prefer recorded videos that I share afterwards. That's just my personal like. But I do everything. Depends on the day or the moment. I follow what's in my heart at that moment.
Courtney, is there anything else? Any last questions, or did that wrap us up for now?
That wrapped us up for now.
Okay, well, thank you, Courtney. Christophe, I just want to tell you that I love having an opportunity to connect with you. It is not only inspiring, but it's extremely heartwarming. And I feel that when we work in this, this high-end luxury, high-quality arena, whatever you want to refer to it as, our experiences tend to go from transactional to more experiential and memorable. And really being able to connect with you, with all of our amazing Colorado agents, is always an experience, and it's very memorable. So thank you so much for your time, because we greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. And it's always an experience. It's not about the transaction. It's not about who the client is. I don't care. Look, I have a listing right now that's $425,000, which look may be very high end in some markets, and I get that. But that's a past client of 25 years. It's not, but it's not about the dollar volume. It's not about who is doing what or what. It's about giving quality and being kind and loving and just helping people.
Yeah.
The world will take care of you if you help others. That's the truth.
That is absolutely true. We are so privileged to have you with us this morning. Thank you, Christophe. We appreciate it so much. You're certainly welcome to join us. We're going to talk a little bit about a design partner we have out of Denver, Havenly, and we're going to focus a little bit on WealthEngine. You're welcome to stay with us and weigh in on anything. But thank you again for your time. We so appreciate it.
I appreciate having me. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all soon. Hopefully next time in Colorado at the Broadmoor next spring. I'm praying and hoping.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christophe.
Thanks, Brendan.
Sure.
See you guys soon.
Bye, Christophe. Thank you. Wow, just such an amazing morning to have an opportunity to connect with Christophe. Thank you all so much for taking some time this morning to join us and hear a little about what he has to say. Such inspiring words. So I wanted to do a quick touch-in with Havenly. We have Matt early on the line with us. Matt, I hope you are able to connect, and we're just going to spend a few minutes. We have a new point of contact with Havenly that I wanted to make everybody aware of, and just keep top of mind the partnership, as you could certainly be talking to your clients about that right now while everyone's home envisioning those potential remodeling and renovation projects. So Matt, if you're ready, we are ready for you.
Great. Thanks, Natalie. Can you guys hear me?
Of course, we can. Thank you so much.
Cool. Well, yeah, thanks so much for having me. Welcome to my living room. And if you hear any snoring next to me, that's my dog. So sorry about that in advance. But yeah, as Natalie said, I'm at Havenly. I know that Coldwell was working with CJ, who is one of my colleagues, for a while. Unfortunately, we did have to go through some small team adjustments just with everything that's going on, and CJ, who's a close friend of mine, was a part of that. I know he was a big proponent of this program, and I know that he was really helpful to everybody here. So sending his thanks to everybody else, and I know that was a great partner for you guys. But so my role is I'm our vice president of growth. So I sit over everything that touches the demand side of our business. So all of our new customer acquisition, working with partners, et cetera. And so, yeah, I wanted to just maybe do a a quick touch base and refresh on kind of our program with you guys, some things that we're seeing right now in the market with everything that's happening, at least from the interior design angle, and just kind of give you all a little bit of a refresher around some of that.
You know, Matt, that's awesome. And thank you so much. And I wanted to take a minute because I think that, you know, it's so important now. So many are having to transition to this virtual space, right? We have to make that pivot. We have to change. Whereas Havenly has the luxury and the convenience of having operated in this capacity for a very long time, right? You can do almost anything virtual. So maybe if you could give us some real use case scenarios and just talk to us a little bit about, you know, how we can best implement this into putting it in front of a client or a potential client, because again, it hasn't been much of a shift for you. So super, super easy to partner with Havenly and utilize the platform.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, Havenly's obviously been around, well, we've been around for 5 years. And over that period of time, at times it's felt like we've been fighting, you know, an uphill battle to transform the industry to feel that online design can be something that's fun and comfortable and effective. As well as purchasing products online. And what happened overnight is all design went online and all home product furnishing, you know, purchasing went online. But for us, this is something we've always done. I mean, our business is completely designed to do everything virtually. And so what we're seeing is we actually, over the course of the last couple months, we've seen massive spikes in demand for our service and for design, online design in general. So to give you an idea, we sit on top of a lot of Google keywords for things like online interior design, online home design, and we saw those keywords. Most of those keywords doubled in the amount of traffic that were coming to those keywords, and so it just shows you like the market is now looking for ways to do online design. You know, I think your clients are probably finding that they're more comfortable now or more interested in utilizing tools that are completely virtual or digital tools, such as Havenly. And so I think the value of what Havenly is able to provide some of your clients is even more interesting to them at this moment in time. We're also seeing like virtual stagings and things like that are obviously starting to pick up and become more and more interesting and important to people. I think whatever you can do to help clients feel more at home in their own space and get there more quickly will be helpful to them. And what's interesting is you can't walk into a West Elm right now. I mean, you will, I think in maybe the next few weeks, you'll be able to go in, but I think less and less people are actually going to continue to shop that way. And so we're seeing that people, they haven't stopped buying furniture, right? Especially at like the market where we play at tends to be the like middle to upper market, which is similar to everyone on this call where you're working with clients. And that group of individuals, what we're seeing is that they have not yet been as impacted financially from the pandemic, and they're spending more time at home. They want to invest in their home. They're thinking more about their home. They're looking around saying like, hey, we're going to be spending a lot of time here, even though we're starting to go back out a little bit. We're going to be coming back into our space every day, and we're going to want to sort of find refuge there. So we're actually seeing spending increase on furniture products, but people are now, I think, having a harder time saying, you know, will this be the right sofa for me? Will this be the right chair for me? Where traditionally they go into a store and make that decision. Now, when they purchase online, they really need the help of a designer, and that's what obviously we're able to offer them. And so I think this program, you know, and the relevancy of what you're able to offer clients at this point in time is probably higher than it's ever been before.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that mute button. So Matt, thank you so much. And it's great to have you touch in with us. And I know that we'll still be offering the packages to our agents for their clients, which is wonderful. So the one thing I would like to do is just get all your contact information so that we can have updated information in terms of agents that want to reach out to you or ask any further questions and just circle back with you on anything that they might need for clients. But as we were speaking, this is a great opportunity with everyone being home to, again, reach out to those clients that you've sold that home to in the last year, 6 months, 3 months, and ask them, if maybe they're not considering renovating, maybe no one's brought up the subject, but it might be a great opportunity to talk about how to, maybe redesign that room or come up with a new color scheme. And there's so much that goes into it. And again, the fact that you guys can have it available so quickly, so virtually, such an added benefit. So thank you so much for taking some time to introduce yourself and chat with us. Courtney, do we have any questions for Matt while we have him?
Hey, Natalie, we did have one question, and I think you just covered it, but I want to just make sure. Matthew, are you the new point of contact over CJ?
I'll be the point of contact moving forward. So my email's Matt, M-A-T-T, @Havenly. So I think, the program should be very similar to what we did before. I think the only change might be we're going to try not to do like physical gift cards moving forward, but we are going to, obviously, if you pass along an email for your client and their information, we will get an intro out to them with a full design package, a comp design package, within the next couple days of receiving that email. And so you can reach out to me. I have Jen from our team that's also on the call, Jen Davis. She's going to help out a little bit, but you can just point those emails directly to me, Matt at Havenly, and we'll kind of work from there.
Yeah. And we'll make sure to get all Matt's contact information out as well as Jen's. They've been fabulous with responding. And again, thank you guys so much for jumping on the call. We really, really appreciate it. We love the partnership and it's such an added benefit to our clients. So thank you so much.
No, absolutely. Thank you guys for having us, and we look forward to working with everybody in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks again. Beautiful. So we're moving right through, and we seem to be running on time, and we wanted to wrap up our day with one of our amazing partners. That's part of our Global Luxury membership program. I believe we have Andrew Rosenblatt on the line. Andrew, are you with us?
Hey there. Thank you. Thanks for.
Hey. So nice to have you join us. Thank you so much for taking a minute with us. We appreciate it.
Working from my basement, if you can see me here. You will have a little bit of background noise. I'm getting my house power washed, getting ready to put that on the market. So
it's all this real life that we're dealing with right now.
Exactly.
Right? Well, listen, we appreciate you joining us, Andrew. And I know that you wanted to demo a little bit about WealthEngine for us. So I will let you go ahead and take that away. WealthEngine is an amazing tool. We've had a couple agents dive in and start using it more frequently of recent. It really helps pinpoint out that buyer that has the financial ability and the geographic likelihood to want to move forward on that property. So I will let you go ahead and take it away to talk a little bit about how they can best use the system.
Absolutely. So let me actually just see if we can share my screen. I think that's working. Can you see this?
Can we see it?
Nope. Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe you can now.
Yep. Perfect.
So, like now more than ever, WealthEngine can come rapport with them. Of course, location, learning a little bit.
Hey, Andrew, Andrew, I think we're getting a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure if anybody else is hearing that.
Oh, I apologize.
No, it's okay.
A little bit better now?
Yes.
Okay. So two of the main functions for WealthEngine's platform will be to research individuals on the fly. That way you guys can be very, adaptive, agile, be personalized in your conversations. And also our marketing or prospecting tool to find new audiences for your listings. Whether you're looking for buyers or sellers, this is a great way to, go through and surface a very targeted list of individuals based on your parameters, and then you can market to them via direct mail or your personalized outreach. Especially now more than ever, I mean, direct mail people will, I would imagine, be at their homes waiting for it. So that can come in handy. But those are the tool functions there for searching individuals, building that rapport, learning more about them on the fly by just typing in their name or their address. And then, of course, the prospecting tool so that you have a targeted list for your campaign.
Beautiful. Andrew, anything else to touch on while we have you?
Yeah, so just to give you guys a little example, you can dive in based onto the generation. You can go in down by a radius of your zip code, true area, and you can also specify the different details around their professional life if you're looking for that CEO or business owner, their demographics if you're looking for a family for that property, and of course their wealth and real estate portfolio to, again, really narrow in on that targeted list for your mailing and to go along with the messaging, right? So that way you can have particular personalized messaging going out to your targeted audiences. And going back, looking at clients that maybe you've sold to in the past, seeing who else they might be connected to through their businesses, through their network. You can go through and see, again, sort of who they look like and who they're connected to. I apologize for the coming at the wrong time with the water there.
No, that's okay, Andrew. We appreciate it. And thank you so much for taking a minute on that. And I know that we've had a few agents that have engaged with WealthEngine recently for either properties or for communities that they've wanted to gain a big audience for and really hone in on that specific buyer that's going to have a likelihood to want that property, be able to afford that property, and have the desire to move to that geographical area where that property is. And WealthEngine has been such a success. So don't forget, it can pull from a tremendous amount of those lifestyle attributes. So if you have any questions, I know I've set up a couple of one-on-ones with WealthEngine or small groups, but if you need anything from them, it's a great tool, even just to learn a little bit about the fundamentals of it and have like a little experience with it so that you'll know how to dive into it when and where you'll need it when it applies to a listing. So don't hesitate to reach out to me or to reach out to Andrew. We will put together a follow-up email for everyone that will have Matt's information and Jen's information from Havenly, and then of course Andrew's information from WealthEngine. So I know it's such a great treat when we get to have a guest like Christophe, and I love being able to feature partnerships with Havenly and WealthEngine. And if there's any questions, I don't know, Courtney, if we have any last questions before we start to wrap up, but we can field a few.
Yeah, we actually do have a question on Wealth Builder. So the question is, how often are you pulling the information?
So we work with the top tier data providers. There's between 40 and 50 of them that we're working with at any given moment. And so a lot of them would have different cadences as to when they are going to update their data. So I would say we stay up to date as possible. Some cases that might be a few months behind just based on when we're receiving data from those data vendors. But we do have, if you will, APIs set up so that when real estate gets updated or their business gets updated, it's going to flow right into our system and update that record.
And Andrew, you guys also have the benefit of once someone wants to pull a list and identifying a list, of doing that last audit before it's sent out to make sure that the updated information is accurate and almost essentially up to the minute, correct?
That's correct. So depending on your method of outreach, whether that's an email campaign or direct mail will scrub against the do not mail list. And for an email campaign, we go through a further layer of verification to scrub against, those bad emails to make sure that you're, getting the lowest bounce rate possible.
Beautiful. Perfect. Courtney, any other questions?
We do. We have a couple more coming in. Carol Newberry, wants to know how to update an old inactive email address. She said, when I pull up mine, it shows a 5-year-old inactive email.
So a lot of times what the emails are also being used for is matching purposes. So if you think about your digital footprint, when you were using emails, that might be outdated today, they were matched to you at one point and might have some juicy information somewhere. I'm not too much of a data geek, but that's the way I understand it. So those emails are still important from a matching criteria perspective. Therefore, if we went through an email verification process for you to do outreach with, that's an email that should probably get that red X or that, kick this one to the side flag against. So you will definitely see, I think the standard per person nowadays is between 4 and 5 emails. And for that reason, right, we recycle them quite a bit. So we'll try to capture as much as possible for those matching purposes to make sure we can gather the best footprint as we can. And then, during that verification, we whittle it down to, okay, well, what can we use and what can we send to?
Perfect. Thank you, Andrew.
And then the last, it was more of a comment, but maybe you have a recommendation for this person on how to kind of get some current information. The client info is not up to date in many cases, based off of years, not months. So do you have any recommendation for her on how to get that sorted out?
Well, I think this could go along with the matching, when we are going to kind of continue keeping old data in there. And I guess for me, it's hard to understand. I don't know which part of the data that we're specifically talking about. If it's for business data or something of that nature, a lot of those are going to be self-reported from businesses to Dun & Bradstreet and the market guide, et cetera. And so that's where either maybe, some companies don't update for a while in terms of their information with, those data collectors. There could be scenarios like that. But I would imagine in most cases, when it comes to real estate, as long as it's in their name, we should have it pretty up to date. The issues where I've seen it gets tricky is when, people are hiding their properties in an LLC, and that can be difficult for us to come across. Or, sometimes we might have a tough read on income if they're retired and are hiding their funds, through various ways. So with folks who are good at hiding their money, we'll get a footprint in a different way, through their nonprofit foundation, or they're, sitting on a nonprofit board, or their venture capitalist, or what have you. So we'll try to capture as much as we can. But we base it off of valid data. So in some cases, you're right. It might either be that the most valid data that we have is a little outdated and we can't find something to fill the gap. Or we might have to, kind of look elsewhere to fill that information. I hope that makes sense. But definitely willing to do a one-on-one with anybody, and we can dive into some examples to take a look.
Yeah, Courtney, maybe we'll take that question, whoever asked it, offline, and that way we can kind of let Andrew dig into it, because maybe it is like he said, and the company hasn't updated current information or data. So we can bookmark that and we can look into it one-on-one.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So I want to be mindful of everyone's time, because I know we've got the town hall in just a little while, and this was so awesome. It was such a treat to have Christophe with us and to hear from Havenly and from WealthEngine. What an amazing group. And I know that you guys are out there every day creating those amazing experiences for your buyers and sellers. So if there's anything else for the good of the group, we can take a minute. Otherwise, I want to let you guys get on with your day and get ready for the exciting town hall that we have. Nothing else?
Yeah, we are good. We are good in the comments.
Beautiful. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful Monday, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.